Preparing students for academic writing is important. So important that it's often the central goal of writing courses. An Insider's Guide to Academic Writing supports your teaching efforts, offering a flexible pedagogy grounded in rhetorical principles that will already be familiar to you. Authors Susan Miller Cochran, Roy Stamper, and Stacy Cochran based their revolutionary approach on the best practices of the first-year composition program at North Carolina State University. Let's take a closer look at the book itself to see this approach in action. Part 1, A Guide to College and College Writing, begins by introducing students to the writing expectations they will likely face in college. It then presents students with the core principles of rhetoric and explores a number of frameworks for rhetorical analysis. Part 1 also reviews basic principles of argument and strategies for conducting library and online research. The first chapter in Part 2 recaps the core rhetorical principles from Part 1 before introducing another important framework for understanding disciplinary writing. This chapter, Chapter 5, teaches students to notice the significance of the structure and the language used in a piece of writing, as well as how and why the references might have been chosen. This framework is expanded into the rest of Part 2, where students are encouraged to explore the structure, language, and references used in the various disciplines. Each of the remaining chapters in Part 2 focuses on a different academic domain: the humanities, the social sciences, the natural sciences, and the applied fields. But they all begin with an exploration of research practices specific to those academic communities. Insider example readings throughout the chapters provide models of writing by both scholars and students. These readings exemplify important genres of academic and disciplinary writing, and many are also annotated to identify writers' rhetorical moves or to pose questions that will get students making deeper connections. Insiders View sidebars and videos connect to the Launchpad Solo for an Insider's Guide to Academic Writing. This digital resource can be packaged for free with the book and allows students to hear directly from scholars in a variety of academic fields, who explain disciplinary writing expectations and reflect on their own writing practices. This unique feature provides a form of personal access to an academic world that can sometimes seem intimidating to students. Inside work activities and writing projects provide opportunities for students to put their learning into action and to analyze and practice the skills and moves taught throughout the book. Students are provided with all the tools they need to write in genres such as rhetorical analysis and interpretation in the humanities, theory response papers and literature reviews in the social sciences, research proposals and formal observation reports in the natural sciences, and lesson plans and memoranda in the applied fields. Finally, each chapter closes with a summary tip sheet that underscores critical concepts and insights for students as they move from novices to full-fledged academic insiders. And of course, the appendix, An Introduction to Documentation Styles, discusses how specific citation styles reflect disciplinary concerns, while concisely explaining and exemplifying the basics of MLA, APA, and CSE documentation. This book is also available with a thematic reader that takes students inside issues of cultural and academic interest. The reader is composed of 4 chapters: Love, Marriage and Family, Crime, Punishment and Justice, Food, Sustainability and Class, and Global Climate Change and Natural Catastrophes. These are popular issues that are real to students and the kind of topics that academic commentators are expected to weigh in on. For example, Chapter 11 explores the criminal justice system from a variety of angles, including the troubling topic of juvenile sentencing and a first-hand account of prison life. The academic case studies in each chapter of the reader take up a single facet of the larger topic and provide a reading from each of the major disciplines to explore that issue. These readings highlight the research focus, forms of evidence, and communication practices that define these discourse communities. A guidebook can only do so much. Students need insiders such as yourself and your colleagues to guide their understanding. An Insider's Guide to Academic Writing is a resource you can rely on as you start them on their journey. To request a copy of the book or to class test using the sample chapter you have just seen, please visit macmillanhighered.com/insidersguide.